Hello. I'm just getting some stuff set up real quick. Should be fun. Okay, so I'm basically making a quick pho, which means I've got to grab a couple things. Just hello. Okay, so I'm doing pho. Gonna grab a little bit of stuff and put it together and whatnot, but I'm gonna kind of show you some of what goes into it. I've actually already made my stock because that takes a long time. It's usually a bone broth or a fish and bone broth. I happen to go with a bone broth this time around. Beef, so it has kind of a darker look to it. I just need to grab a few things. I've also already marinated my chicken because I have chicken. This is part of the $20 challenge for groceries for this week, so we're seeing what we can do. I did a tea-boiled egg. I have some wonderful fresh herbs here that I got from the garden. Because, hey, when you can grow your own herbs, you don't have to pay for them. Much easier. Get them year round. Let's see. I've got, oh, yes. Vermicelli noodle, which is quite lovely. Let's see, what else did, oh, that's right. I need to go grab jalapeno pepper, and I need to get out skillets. Give me just a second. And actually, I'm going to bring some other fruits and, or well, mostly veg. So we've got a bit of mushroom. We have some green onion, because you have to have some green onion. And then I wanted to grab a jalapeno. So we're going to do a little bit of fire roasting. So if you're going to roast something over a flame, I highly suggest that you make sure that you have a pair of tongs, because you don't want to burn yourself. There we go. So if anybody has any questions, do feel free to ask. Repositioning the grab. Basically, I want to, well, that was fortuitous. I'm trying to blister the skin just a touch. You can always have raw jalapeno with your pho. That's completely fine and actually very traditional. I'm actually just a little bit sensitive to jalapeno for whatever reason. So a little bit of fire roasting actually helps for me. I'm also going to chop up a little bit of onion, a little bit of mushroom. How's everybody doing out there? All that little popping that you're hearing is because it is in like direct contact with flame. Say a little bit of fire roasted goodness is always a good thing. So yeah, there we go. Nice little bit of blister on there. Let me grab a good sharp knife. I'm going to keep this with me because I don't want to accidentally touch jalapeno and then touch like my eyes or my face. That would not be fun. Now, if you want to get the skin off and like do guacamole or salsa or anything else like that. What you can do is you flour blister it like I just did, and then you stick it into a plastic bag after letting it cool down for just a little bit, and the heat and steam that it creates inside will actually help slough off the skin. Also a great way to make jalapeno poppers. What can I say? Okay, so we've got the jalapeno there. I've got my broth on the boil. I'm going to start up my chicken, which means I need to get out another bowl. Just a second. Oh, I'm a little all over the place today. Just a lot going on in my life. I know, I just touched with my hand, so gotta wash. But yeah, so yeah, trying to figure everything out. See what works the best. I enjoy cooking. I love doing this kind of thing. I just have to figure out the best balance of information, videos, recipe making, all that kind of stuff. I'm extremely new to all of this. Usually I just, hey, I'm just going to cook for myself. And now it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to cook myself. I'm going to cook for all of you, which is fabulous and wonderful, but it's still, I got to, figure out the dynamics of it all. Okay, so the chicken is chicken thigh that I deboned, and I have marinated it with seasoning mix, garlic, bit of salt, bit of fish sauce, and now I don't want it nearly so wet, so I'm going to take that out of the way. Going to, again, the rinse and the wash and the soak. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to pat down both the skin and the chicken itself. I actually want these rather dry. And you'll see why, because I want to put it over high heat and give it a good crisp. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we got the everything's a little bit drier. Now I'm going to use just a touch of potato starch. That'll soak up any extra moisture without adding any flavor or taste. I want to get a nice bit of crispness across. There it goes. Soaks in pretty quickly, so not too worried. Wash. Okay. Now I'm getting out a skillet. Bit of oil, just in case. Nope, didn't hear it. You want to kind of wait for it to get hot. I know I put it on far too fast. But you want to get it nice and hot so that it, like, really sizzles and impacts, when you throw it in there. Let's see. I'm gonna get out a bundle of the rice noodles. Actually, I'm sorry, these are pea. It's vermicelli, glass noodles. starting as I nick the side. I swear the most, well, not a super blunt knife, but not really in fear of cutting myself. I don't know why, but it's just being ridiculously difficult. At the same point in time, I don't want the noodles flying everywhere. That just creates a whole new problem. Okay, so bundle of the glass noodles. And yes, I know that the chicken has gotten very hot now. There you go. And basically you'll just drop that in hot water or hot broth for about 5 minutes tops. Which is why I want to get the skin going. Now, the herbs that I have are basil, cilantro, a little bit of cinnamon basil as well, onions, chives, oh, lime. I would be very remiss if I did not have lime. There's something else that I have in here. I found the beef tendon balls! I'm sorry, I've been looking for these. Yeah, super tasty. Quite lovely. Now I'm going to go ahead and add those to my broth. Because those need at least a little bit of time to heat up. I actually really like stuff with a good amount of chew to it, so beef tendon balls are fabulous. Okay, I want to give that some time to get crispy and whatnot. I'm going to wash my board real quick. But yeah, when you cook, I'm sorry, let me get you over here. When you cook, feel free to look for inspiration from, different places, especially if you're having to go soy-free, gluten-free, all that kind of stuff, which is what I do. I just found out recently that I have an autoimmune disease that was not being treated properly. So I'm doing the heavy lifting and legwork and decided I was going to do it, myself. And since I changed my diet, I've been doing a lot better, I will have to say. It's going to be a long process, but, I will take the long process over what I was doing, which was not a whole lot of fun, and, yeah. So, moving you guys back here. Hello! Sorry, I had somebody come on in one of the channels. Okay, so I'm letting my chicken crisp up. I've got the beef tendon balls in there. In a few minutes, I'm going to add the bundle of rice noodles to my broth. I've got my jalapenos doing their thing. Chicken skin actually has a lot of fat to it, so it will sputter and spatter. Just be aware of that beforehand. It is quite a lovely brown, though. Okay, so I would like to, so I'm going to take about the last 2 inches or so of this green onion. I'm going to rinse that off real quick. Green onion is just fabulous, what can I say? And I like it on a lot of different foods. It adds a little bit of color, but it also adds some, some bite, some spark. Okay. Take off the end. I already had garlics in there in my broth, so I'm not going to add more garlic. I'm going to cut that decently fine. Oh, let me trim off a little slice of lime. Lime helps tame down some of the taste that can be a little bit strong. All just depends on what you like. I'm just going to do one of these little mini king oysters. Oh, I'm sorry, I should rinse real quick. So what is everybody up to today? Don't worry, I am checking the news feed, so I will see you. So while I like to flip my skin back and forth to make sure it gets crisp, because crisp relies a little bit on dry. The thigh that I'm cooking, sorry, my brain went blank for a minute. The thigh that I'm cooking is beautiful dark meat, but it can go dry if you flip it over too often. So I'm trying to not do that. Okay, so I just julienned, or thinly cut like matchsticks. A little bit of king oyster mushroom. I've got my lime here on the side. I've got some jalapenos, so we're pretty good to go on that. I'm actually going to caramelize my onions because I do want them to have a nice bit of a smell and a look to them. So, whoops, just lost one. Oh yeah. Chicken skin looking pretty darn good. I'm going to flip my dark meat once more just to make sure. Oh yeah, that's coming out nicely. I'm going to let my onions caramelize for just a touch, which means I'm going to throw noodles into my broth and let it do its thing. Now, for my skin, which I'm going to try to julienne as well. It's hot. Yes, even I can feel this. Because, it's hot. I had like a really sharp cleaver. That probably would have helped, but yeah. Okay, let's get our potato starch out of the way. And I don't think I have to move for that bowl. I've got a nice large bowl for thaw. And I will ladle the contents in pretty shortly and then lay certain stuff on top. Okay. Yep. Wanted to make sure that my chicken had a decently firm texture to it. I don't want to eat undercooked chicken, of course. Put that to the skin for a bit. Okay, that's actually looking really good. Okay. I'm letting the chicken rest for a little while so that all the juices kind of collect back towards the middle. If you cut in directly, all the juices are flowing so fast they end up flowing out of your meat and it comes out really dry after a few minutes. So you're trying to avoid that. Okay. So in my broth I have clove, a bit of cinnamon, garlic, beef bone, salt. You can also do this with fish or chicken. I just happen to have bone broth, or beef bones, sorry. And so went with it. And then down at the bottom, I believe I should have my noodles. Oh, that's why I had the bowl there. There are days I'm really, really pretty. Really pretty. Okay. 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 Oh, this is looking good. I'll give YouTube a little choice. Should I? Yeah, I should. Okay. So far, so good. Yes, they got to see the bowl real quick. Don't worry, everybody will see it, I swear. So if you go to my Instagram, I'm Raven About Bento, and I also do have a Patreon, if you would like to become a patron. And I'm working on setting up recipes and some more behind the scenes kind of stuff. Maybe I'll even show you where I shop, how I go shopping for stuff. Yeah, here we go. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, so I've got my beef tendon balls in there. Got in my noodles. I am going to put, there we go. I'm going to put my onions and mushrooms in. Be careful when you're working with metal and non-stick bowls, plates, skillets, cooking pans, anything like that, because metal on non-stick can do some damage. Now I'm going to take my gently sliced thigh or cutlet. That's in there. I'm going to put a nice, I want to find like a good sprig of basil. Okay. So basil, one of the best parts of the basil is actually the basil top. You know, first couple of leaves down. Basil leaf. Bit of cilantro in there. Cilantro I've actually learned to love. I didn't originally love it, but I'm learning to love it. Oops. Putting the skins in there. Now, if you ever have a question about what I'm doing, processes that you'd like to see me do, I know some people don't quite understand things like gelatin, or how to cook a soft scrambled egg, or, you know, hard-boiled eggs, or, you know, whichever, whatever. Just let me know. I will do my best to address your issues. I am here to help you. That is actually my main focus, is actually trying to educate and help people so that they can learn that, yes, they can cook. Cooking is scary because you've been told it's scary, but guess what? It's not quite as scary as you think it is. Okay. Oh, yes, and please, by all means, I really hope this came out correctly. I didn't soak it for overly long in the tea, so I don't know if it really picked up much of the color. Oh, actually came out decently white, which means I probably need to soak it longer in the tea, or boil it longer in the tea, I should say. But all in all, has just a little hint of that tea, tea scent to it. Okay. There we go. That's nice, that's nice. Yay! Okay, so I know some stuff that I can fix for the next time around, and thank you so much for joining me. See you guys around.